Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. The result? C minus. This guy is below par. He has some issues to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's mostly just talking big and is unlikely to go far in his career. While he makes a lot of noise about his plans, he doesn't have the habits or discipline to back it up. So you shouldn't expect him to steadily climb the ladder or achieve those big dreams he brags about.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he is more likely to break down than bounce back. Instead of calmly facing problems, he often explodes in anger or blames others. His mood can change quickly, and you might see him storming off or giving up instead of trying again.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will struggle to like or respect him. He might start off friendly because he knows how to be polite on the surface, but his temper and aggressive ways quickly push people away. This can lead to regular fights or cold silences rather than healthy teamwork.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your own career, he's more likely to feel insecure than proud. Instead of celebrating your achievements, he may become jealous or even angry, feeling as though your success makes him look smaller. Be prepared. You may find yourself needing to protect your happiness from his hurtful reactions.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, if you earn more than him, he will likely feel both resentful and insecure. He may hide it at first, but you'll notice his mood changing. He might start picking fights over small things or make sarcastic remarks about your work. You could end up walking on eggshells just to avoid setting him off.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's not careful with money and tends to spend without much thought. Quick excitement usually guides his choices, so he may buy things impulsively, even if it's not wise or affordable. It's important to watch out for this, as it can lead to bigger problems down the line.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He's more likely to pretend to be richer than he is, trying to impress others, even if it means stretching his budget. Big talk and flashy spending might make him look successful, but underneath, he often struggles to keep up with the bills. It's wise to be careful and keep your own finances steady.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't truly open handed or kind, even if he sometimes spends in flashy ways. When it comes to helping or sharing for the real needs of others, he doesn't show much warmth or generosity. This can make close relationships feel lonely and one sided.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be secretive and controlling about money. He may hide his spending, avoid talking about debts, or even get angry if you ask too many questions. This lack of openness can make you feel uncertain and anxious about where you both stand.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to think housework is just your job and not something to be shared equally. Even if he talks nicely at times, when it comes down to daily chores, he expects you to handle most of it while he does little or nothing. If you ask for help, he might get annoyed or avoid the work completely.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He will most likely help by standing on the side and telling you what to do instead of actually rolling up his sleeves. He prefers to act as if he's in charge, maybe offering advice or pointing out what's not done, but rarely does the hard work himself, whether it's cleaning or changing diapers. In his eyes, chores and childcare are mainly your responsibility, and he might even criticize how you do them instead of pitching in.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He usually argues just to prove he's right, not to understand your side. When you share your feelings or concerns, he's quick to jump in with his own opinion, often raising his voice or shutting you down. In the long run, it's hard to feel close when only one person's voice matters.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he tends to say hurtful things or act aggressive rather than staying respectful. His temper can flare up quickly, and in those moments, he might yell, use harsh words, or even break things. It's important not to ignore this side of him, as such behavior can get worse over time.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, this is the kind of man who gets angry very quickly, and it's a real red flag you should not ignore. Quick temper means he can go from calm to shouting or even breaking things in a moment. If you find yourself making excuses for his anger or hoping he'll change, pause and think carefully.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He struggles to say sorry or take responsibility and is much more likely to blame you instead. When things go wrong, he tends to point fingers, make excuses, or twist the situation so you end up feeling at fault even when it's clearly his mistake. Sincere apologies and self reflection aren't his strength.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to push against your boundaries and may not fully respect when you say no. Instead of listening and stopping when you set limits, whether in conversations, decisions, or physical situations, he might get upset, argue, or try to get his way regardless of how you feel. Everyone deserves respect for their choices and comfort.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he's the kind of man who often takes it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding or caring about how you feel, he might react with anger, sulking, or hurtful comments as if your decision is an insult to him. You may find yourself feeling guilty or pressured even when you have a valid reason.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you may not always feel safe trusting that your private moments will be respected. If he gets angry or feels slighted, there's a risk he might bring up those moments to embarrass or hurt you later. This kind of behavior is deeply unfair and can damage your self esteem and trust.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is easily distracted by other women and may struggle to stay faithful. Flirting or seeking attention outside the relationship can tempt him, especially when he feels bored or wants excitement. This can leave you feeling insecure and doubting his commitment.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, He is likely to be overpossessive, showing jealousy, controlling behavior, and constant suspicion. He might question who you talk to, check your phone, or try to control where you go and who you meet. This kind of possessiveness isn't love, it's about control and insecurity.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what he calls protective is really a sign of a controlling personality. He might say he's just caring about your safety, but what he really wants is to decide what you do, where you go, and who you spend time with. This control often comes with jealousy, anger, and even blaming you for his worries.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will expect you to do most of the parenting work, not seeing it as a true team effort. When it comes to raising the kids, he's likely to step back and let you handle the daily responsibilities, the tough moments, and even the fun activities. If you ask for help, he might brush it off, complain, or act as if you're nagging him.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is more likely to lose his temper than stay calm. Instead of listening or helping them through their feelings, he may yell, scold harshly, or even say things that hurt their confidence. Kids need patient and steady support, especially when they struggle. Losing your temper only adds to their stress and fear.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to fully support you both as a mother and your own person. While he might expect you to handle all the family and home duties, he may not appreciate your needs, dreams, or personal space outside those roles. Over time, this can leave you feeling stuck, undervalued, and lonely.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might seem supportive of your career at first, but later pressure you to quit once a child comes along. His support is often only on the surface, and as soon as family life gets busier, he may expect you to give up your work and focus only on home and children. If you value your career, be cautious. His promises may not last.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's likely to just act polite on the surface with your parents rather than showing genuine warmth or care. While he may greet them or use nice words when they visit, his kindness won't go much deeper. Sometimes his politeness can even feel forced or fake to your parents. He's more likely to expect your family to adjust for him rather than making any real effort to fit in himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's more likely to make things worse than handle it calmly. Instead of staying patient or helping you work through the situation, he might react with anger, harsh words, or blame. Instead of easing tensions, he could add to your stress, making harmony harder to achieve.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he's the kind of man who might act modern with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife whenever his relatives are around. He may encourage your independence behind closed doors, but as soon as family visits or there's a function, he'll want you to cook, serve, dress conservatively, and follow all the customs, even if he doesn't follow them himself. Over time, this can wear down your confidence and make you feel like you're never fully accepted for who you are.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is more likely to stay out of it or even side with his family instead of supporting you. When problems come up, he may avoid getting involved, leave you to face everyone on your own, or agree with his relatives just to keep peace with them. You deserve someone who stands up for you, especially when it matters.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is very likely to be a mummy's boy, which means he will almost always take his mother's side in a conflict, not yours. No matter how reasonable or small your concern is, he may defend his mother's feelings and choices over your comfort. You might feel ignored or blamed, and it can leave you frustrated, especially if the same patterns repeat.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. Instead of keeping your problems between the two of you and working things out as a couple, he may run to his family with every complaint or disagreement. This means you lose your privacy and you might feel exposed or judged by people outside your marriage.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, after all that analysis, we can conclude that this guy is a C minus. This guy is below par and he has some serious issues to watch out for. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out often feels like walking on eggshells. You may find yourself handling everything at home and outside, while he does little, complains often, and expects you to adjust for everyone.